Hello and welcome to project number 6. We are at the halfway project. I'm so excited. We are continuing on with this Butterick pattern, Butterick 7886, which is a vintage pattern. So we've just done this top one, sleeveless with a collar. I love it. We are now moving on to this view, which is the same bodice. It's just got long sleeves with a bit of a poof and a cuff. I love a long sleeve, I love a poofy sleeve, and I love this shirt already after making this base version, so I look forward to making it again. And also it's just so easy. Like, often when there's a collar involved, life gets hard. Collars, buttons, it all gets complicated, but this one, I loved it. Originally, when I was doing all my planning, this was the fabric that I had in mind. It's this really nice chambray, I believe it was called. Pale blue, really nice weight. And I think this would still be beautiful to make this shirt in. However, I then thought about the wholeness of this project, like as a complete whole, the 12 projects, and I want them to sort of coordinate a little bit. Not so much the individual dresses and stuff, but say the pants. These are not really compatible colors. So I've got a pair of shorts coming up that will match nicely with this shirt. So I thought for the long sleeve version, I wanted to match it to these pants so that I could have a complete wardrobe. So I have this white fabric. It's again quite light, even though it's going to be a long sleeve shirt, it should be relatively cool. And it's got this pattern in it. I'll see if I can show you. There we go. It's got a bit of a checked pattern through it, so I thought that would be fun to sort of mirror the checks in the pants with the checks in the top. And also a white shirt is just so versatile, like how can you go wrong? Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. I have done the bodice part before, so we're just going to whiz through that and get to sleeves, which will be new for this pattern, and we'll see how we go there. So let's quickly cut this out and get the bodice together, and I'll get back to you then. My base blouse is now together, and I am up to sleeves, which are new for this pattern for me. So I have a big sleeve, well, 2 big sleeves, a little placket piece which goes on there's a little slash for the opening where your hand goes through, and that gets buttoned closed, which means I need cuffs. Now, this pattern had lost its cuff piece, so I've just made some rectangles myself from a random measurement. I think they're a bit long at the moment, but I would rather cut them long than too short. So I need to figure out how much I actually need these to be done by, and then sew them and fold them and gather the sleeve into them. But the first part of sleeve is actually getting the little placket in the right position so that you can slash it and turn it in to the inside and secure it. So this is how the little plackets are prepared, turning in 3 of the edges, and then this edge joins to the cuff, so it doesn't need to be finished. And then these are stitched to the sleeves and then slashed to a certain point. And so now to complete it, I need my sleeve pieces that someone's looking after for me. Can I have those pieces? Can I have them? Now I just need to sew through these dots in a triangle and then cut up to the point, and then this gets folded through to the other side. So this is in the little facing placket business. So that's in, and I have stitched up my sides and pressed them. Now it's time to gather this so it will fit into my cuff piece. Two cuffs on. Now I just need to tidy up all this string and just fold over the edge on the inside and whip stitch it down. Right, so I've got my pieces, bodice and two sleeves. It's time to put them together, and then the last thing I need to do is finish the bottom hem and buttons. So there's 3 buttons here and a button each on the cuffs. Another successful shirt. This pattern is like my new favorite shirt pattern. I just love the way the shirts turn out, and this one has little puffy sleeves and the cuff goes out a little bit. I probably should have made the cuff band just that little bit wider, but because that was the piece that was missing, I would just sort of made it up for next time, I know. But yeah, they're just the perfect shirt. So if you can get your hands on this pattern or a similar vintage shirt pattern, do it, because they make the best shirts. And they're relatively quick. This took me 4.5 hours, so it was an extra 1.5 hours dealing with sleeves, as opposed to the previous shirt, it was only 3 hours. But you know, sleeves can add a bit. But yeah, very happy with how this turned out. And now I have the perfect staple white blouse to go with anything. And it's just got the right look. Like, it can be buttoned up. I can undo this button and let it sit. It's got a little bit of a puffy sleeve, so it goes beautifully under a vest. It's kind of Edwardian, kind of vintage. It's just, yeah, if you can find this pattern, get it.